In this video I will be using group policy to deploy CutePDF. I will deploy it using two different methods. One is where we create a policy for the main computers and then the computers install the software during startup. Another one is where we create a policy for the main users and then the users themselves can install the software whenever they like. I will also use Wix to package CutePDF executable into a MSI file. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and that's because there are a few bits of information here that I will be using for this video, and I will leave the URL in the description down below. Also, in the bottom of the page you can find more of my videos that are related to this topic. For example, here you can find videos about my Windows Server setup if you're interested in that. There are also videos about extra group policies and settings that I'm using when I'm deploying software using group policy, and also there are videos about Wix on how to install it and use it. And now I will begin this video by downloading CutePDF executable installation files, and for that I will use the link that I have here. That brings me to the CutePDF download page. Then I will click on free download and it should start the download for us. Now I will go to my downloads folder, and here we have our executable that I will be using in this video. And now I will use Wix to package this executable into a MSI file, and for that we need a Wix configuration file. And for that I will go back to my GitHub page, and as you can see here I have few configuration files. One is called CutePDF, and this is already completed configuration file that you can check out if you want to, but for this video I will be using this one called template. So I will click on it, and then I will click right here to download the configuration file, and then I will go back to my downloads folder. Now I will rename the file into CutePDF. Then I will right click on the file and I will open it with Visual Studio Code. As you can see, it's an XML file. Basically, it's instructions for Wix on how to package the executable for us. And here we only care about this part right here, because here we need to fill in the information that is unique to CutePDF installation. First, we need to name our package, and I will name it deploy CutePDF. Then for exe, we need to provide the executable name, and for that I will right click on the executable that I have in my downloads folder. I will select rename, and then I will select the full name that includes the extension, because extension is important, and I will right click and click copy, and I will paste in the name right here. Then for the path we need to provide the location where we currently have our executable, and for me it's in my downloads folder, and my downloads folder is in my D drive. So it will be D downloads. I'm pretty sure that the location for you will be different. Then we need to provide silent arguments because we wanted the installation to be silent. And for that I will go back to main page of my GitHub page, and I will copy the silent switches from here. And I will paste it right here. Now for the version, we need to provide a version number, but this version number is for the MSI file and not for the software. In most cases I like to keep the version numbers the same, but to make this video simple I will just give it a version number of 1.0.0. And publisher is not that important, but it's a mandatory field, so I will enter, let's do automation. And last part, we need to provide a GUID, and GUID is basically a unique identifier, and we can use PowerShell to generate GUID. And I have the command in my GitHub page, so I will copy this line that I have here for generating GUID. Then I will open terminal, I will paste in the line, and I will press enter. And as you can see, every time that I'm using this command, I'm getting a new unique identifier, and I will copy one of those lines and I will paste it in here. And then I will save the file. And we are done creating our Wix configuration file. Now I will close it. Now let's use the configuration file to generate the MSI file. And for that, I will be using PowerShell window that I have here. First, I will go to my downloads folder where I have my executable and the configuration file. I will type cd d and downloads. Press enter. If I type there, you can see that here I have my Wix configuration file and also the exe. Now to generate the MSI file, I will type wix build, and then we need to provide the configuration file name. In my case, it's CutePDF, and I will press enter. I will go back to the downloads folder, and as you can see, the MSI file was generated for us. And now I will right click on the file, select copy, and then I will go to my VMware workstation where I have my Windows Server environment. For now, I will minimize the server manager, and I will move the MSI file to my desktop. Now we want to move it to a network share that is accessible to our users and computers. And for that I will open File Explorer. Here I will enter my file server name, it's srv02. Here I have this share called software, I will go inside of it. And here I will create another folder named CutePDF. I will go inside of that one and also move the executable into this folder. And here you need to make sure that you have the correct NTFS and share permissions. For example, in my case, if I go to Properties, Security tab and Edit, you can see that I have authenticated users with read permissions for my NTFS permissions. And I also have the same permissions for my share permissions. And authenticated users covers both users and computers that are in my domain. And with read permissions, that means that all of my users and computers are able to access this share and execute files from it. So you need to make sure that you have the correct permissions depending on what deployment options you're going to use. Anyways, I will close everything here. And then I will go back to my server manager because now we can start creating our group policies. And for that I will go to Tools, Group Policy Management, I will right click on Group Policy Objects and select New. And the first policy that I will be creating will be for the domain computers, it's where the software is installed during the startup. And I will name this policy assign CutePDF and then I will click OK. I will expand Group Policy Objects, I will select the policy that I created and then I will right click it and select Edit. And because this policy is for our computers, we need to go to Computer Configuration, Policies, Software Settings, and Software Installation. Then I will right click in this window, go to New, and select Package. Here you need to make sure that you're selecting a file that is located in a network share, because it will allow you to select a file that is local on the server. For example, this file is on my desktop, and it will allow you to create a policy, but the problem is that when the computers would try to install this software, they would fail because they would not have access to this file. So we need to provide a network location, and for that, once again, I will enter this file server name right here. Go to the software share, go inside this folder and select the MSI file. Here I will select Advanced and click OK. Then I will go to Deployment, Advanced, and I will select Ignore Language when deploying this package because I want to deploy this package no matter what's the language on the client machine. Then I will click OK, OK, and we are done creating our policy, so I will close this window right here. Then I will go to Details, and for GPU status from Enable I will select User Configuration Settings Disabled because currently this policy has only computer configurations in it. And I will leave all other settings on default. Now after creating this policy, we need to assign it to an organization unit that is holding the computers on which we want to install the software. In my case, the organization unit will be this one, domain computers 1. So to assign the policy, I will click and hold on the policy and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. Then I will click OK here. As you can see, the policy appeared here, and also we can see it in the list here. And now let's see how this group policy works. And for that, I will go to one of my client machines that I have here, client 01. And this client will be in this organization unit. So I'll go to my client. Here first we need to update our group policy, and for that I need to go to Start menu. I will type in CMD, and I will open it without administrative privileges. Then I will type GP update and press enter. And as you can see here, we get an informational message saying that the computer detected a software installation package and that it needs a reboot for the software to install. So to reboot the computer, in the command line, I will type shutdown -r-t0 and press enter. And now let's see what is going to happen. Here you can see that the computer is installing a software package, and it seems that it's done. So I will sign back in. And now first I will go to the control panel to see if the software package was installed. And for that I will go to the Start menu, I will type in control here, and then I will select uninstall a program. And as you can see here, we can see our MSI package installed, and also we can see that the MSI package installed the software itself, CutePDF Writer, right here. And now let's see if the CutePDF Writer is working, and for that I will open WordPad. I will type in let's do automation. Then I will go to File, Print, and as you can see here, for our printer we have the CutePDF Writer. I will print it. I will save the document on my desktop. The PDF document appeared here. So I'll double click it and everything seems to be working just fine. And that's it for deploying software to our computers during startup. Now let's create another policy where we will allow our users to install the software themselves. And for that I will go back to my domain controller. I will right click on group policy objects, go to new, and this time I will name the policy publish CutePDF and click OK. I'll select, then right click on the policy, then edit. This time, because this policy is for our users, we need to go to user configuration, policies, software settings, and software installation. Once again, I will right click here, go to new and select package. Here, once again, you need to make sure that you're selecting a file from a network share, just like I am here. So I'll double click on it, I will click advanced and OK. Then I will go to deployment and then I will select basic because I don't want to give any options to select for our users during the installation. And I will click OK. And we're done creating our policy, so I will close this window. And this time for GPO status from enabled I will switch to computer configuration settings are disabled because currently this policy only has user settings in it. And I will leave all other settings on default. Now after creating the policy we need to assign it once again, but this time we want to assign it to an organization unit that is holding the users to whom we want to allow the software installation. And for me the organization unit is right here, the main users. So to assign the policy I will click and hold on the policy and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. As you can see, for this organization unit this is the only policy that is assigned. Now let's go to another client machine and see how the policy works this time. And for that I will go to my client 02. And here I have this desktop icon that allows me to install the software from the network. And as you can see, currently the list is empty, and to fill in the list we need to update our policy. So for that I will go to start menu, open command prompt, and I will type gp update. And as you can see, the policy was updated successfully. Now to refresh the list, here I will right click and click refresh, and here we have our package. I'll double click on it and the installation should start. And the installation is successful, so I will click OK here. And now let's go to the control panel. Once again, control in the start menu and open. Uninstall a program, and once again we can see our MSI package and also the software itself. Now let's try to create a PDF document, WordPad, and let's do automation, then file, print. Once again we have CutePDF for our printer, we'll print once again, save it on the desktop, and everything seems to be working fine once again. And that's it for this video. In the future videos I will show you how to deploy CutePDF using other software deployment tools, so like and subscribe if you want to see that, and see you in the next one.